This is Zach, and this is another yoga science class, and these videos are about the moon and the moon cycles. And we went over the early cycle, the cycles of the moons that we can see, which is these, new moon, and then quarter moon, and then half moon, 3/4 moon, and then full moon. That being the waxing cycle, and then the moon's cycle as it goes from the full to the new moon would be a waning cycle, and that's a full moon, 3/4 moon, half moon, quarter moon, and then back to the new moon. So, and of course, the 28-day, 13-month calendar of this, of these cycles, we went over already. So we're going to leave that behind. We're going to look at now this cycle here, the moon's 36-year cycle. And the moon's 36-year cycle is hard to see because it takes 36 years to see the whole thing. So here we go. We're going to break it down in these 9-year blocks to show you the rhythm of it. But what the moon does, similar to the sun, is that at one point of the 36-year cycle, the moon is, let's say, here at the east. The east of on the horizon, and then what it'll do is move southerly from this eastern point to this southern point. The furthest the moon goes on the horizon. So over these 9 years, right here, you'll see the moon, come up on the horizon every year for those 9 years, a little more south till it gets its furthest point south. Then it takes 9 years again to come back and do that all the way back again. The moon will come from its most southern point and then raise up to get to its equinox. And this equinox is the same as, the sun's equinox. And it is, the midway point between its lowest point of the 36-year cycle as it goes up to its highest point, which is only 18 years at that point. So it takes 18 years to go from its lowest point to its highest point. And it's going to take 18 years to go back to its lowest point in the sky. And when we show it that way, you see that the moon rises north and south from due east throughout 36 years. But you'll see the you'll see the moon, start off in the east and then come up and set in the west, and that's at the midpoint, you see. But when it's at its southerlymost point, the moon is coming up low on the horizon and then going to the west, east to west, and as it comes to the midpoint here, this equinox point, it's midway through, and then 9 more years, and the sun is rising high and the moon is rising high and then coming down low again back in the west. But it's full longer exposure of lunar energy. So you see it moving on the horizon from due east, north and south, and you see it in the sky go from just very low point of the 36-year cycle to when it gets to its highest point, it stays in the sky a long time. It's very high in the sky, just like the sun's algorithm there. And that's the moon's 36-year cycle explained in these 9-year blocks, moving back and forth throughout the year.